What's going on, guys? Welcome to Mikey Balls Fishing, and today I suck. It's real fishing for you. I don't totally suck. I've been struggling a little bit seeing fish on my new HDS-Lives. Not like totally seeing them. I still see them, but kind of like tweaking the units to make sure that I'm seeing like the best things on side scan. I'm especially struggling with the side scan, I'm not gonna lie. The DownScan and 2D, you know, it's pretty standardized. But the reason that we're shooting this video today is I want to talk about pallets. I don't know everything about pallets, but I want to do a little experiment. I want to take you along with me because I'm trying to figure out what pallet's going to be most suitable for me. If you guys watch the videos, you'll remember I used to use the blue pallet on it. It had that old HDS Gen 2, which I absolutely loved, but it had a blue pallet on it. And I don't know why Lowrance got rid of it because frankly, I think that's the best color palette for structure scan and downscan that there ever was. Instead, they put on this, like this one, which is the one I kind of use now. It's like a bluish turquoise, and then this, which is like green and not blue. I don't know why they did that, because the blue was the best. So the problem is I've been using that greenish blue, and it just doesn't freaking work for me. Like it shows a bit, but the sides can. I'm having trouble separating fish from the bottom, because the bottom's hard usually where the fish are, shell bars, sand, etc., and that hard bottom usually shows up as a brighter kind of deal, so it actually camouflages and masks the fish. So here's what we're going to do today. I'm literally experimenting with these pallets. You can see I got different pallets on this side and this side. What we're going to do is I got a little shell bar with a bunch of bream on it over there, and I'm literally going to drive over it like a few times. I'm not going to do all the pallets, but I'm going to do the pallets that I'm experimenting with and that I'm interested in using. And we're going to look at how much of a difference like the color palette you choose on your downscan or your side scan makes like a difference in what you're seeing. And you're going to see the reason why I always have, I mean, that's the one we're going to play with, but I always have that red yellow, because they show different stuff, dude. And the more information you have, the more efficient and the more detail oriented you can be. So let's get idling. I want to start with, let's start with the palette that I've been playing with. I kind of like this one. It's number 10. So we're gonna have 10 on downscan, 10 on side scan. Let's go scan that thing. Just a note, settings that we're using, we got 200 kilohertz, 455, and then I have my side scan at 800. And we're shooting out 100 feet. These guys are on auto adjust for depth. We're actually gonna drive over that little flag right there and that rock, which indicates my waypoint codes. That's kind of like a shell bar in that. You might not totally see it because some of these shell bars out here, especially in Florida, they're very tough to see on the graph unless they're super duper obvious. But let's take a look at what the side scan and down scan looks like with this color palette. So you can see we got a bunch of bream that are around, and it's gonna be interesting to see. All right, so we are getting some separation. We got some bream over there. There's a couple fish right there. Now here's where we're actually gonna run over the bar. Interesting. All right, so we got a bunch of bream there. They are showing up a little bit on the side here. Got them on the red. I kind of like this. Like, this is a good palette. All right, so a bunch of bream bait. Kind of like this palette. It gives contrast. What's gonna happen is you're gonna see your fish as kind of like really like bright dots. Not so much white, but bright dots. But we're gonna switch up. Let's switch these palettes up, and let's try the one I normally use, which is number 9. Turn everything to number 9. Now let's drive back over this thing. You can see the problem that I'm having with this guy. It's like super white, and it just like masks it. I don't know why the blue was so different. All right, we're driving over. You get a bunch of bream. It's kind of comparable to the yellow, but you notice, I guess we are seeing some of the white dots on the side, but it's a little bit more camouflage than that yellow palette in picking stuff up. And also I noticed on the down scan that the bream even, I mean, you don't want the bream to show up as like giant dots, but the bream are even kind of transparent. It's just a little tougher to see. If anybody knows anybody at Lowrance, tell them to like put the blue palette back in the mix. It's the best palette ever. All right, guys, let's try another palette. This is one that I was playing with before. It's Kermit the Frog. It's basically green. It's number 7. So this one is kind of like the yellow palette. It has a very smooth finish to it. It's kind of even. Stuff is going to show up as brighter dots. However, the only thing that I don't like about this one, as well as I've experimented with it, is once again you get this brightness like that's just a little bit too bright, and it's tough to do like contrast variation. It's tough to tell the difference between stuff and get separation. But you do notice that it does pick up things a little bit clearer than that blue palette. These would be very transparent on that blue palette. These are all brim and bait. It's actually kind of comparable to this guy right here. Interesting. All right, let's get over the shell bar. You can see it picking up some of the brim right here, and we're about to go over it. All right. Now this one gets pretty good separation. You can see, you know, the white dots showing up, or the lighter colored dots right there. However, I'm not seeing much on the side scan, and that's been my problem. Is I know there's brim down there on the side scan, and they're just kind of blending in. You get a few little dots. You see right there how it's so whited out that you can't really tell. You get a few little dots, but overall, it seems like that palette's just gonna blend stuff. It looks decent on the down scan, but it's not super viable on the side scan. Let's try one more. This isn't gonna be a super long video. This is the one that I know JT Kenny uses. A lot of the pro guys use to fish the TVA. This is one of the standard palettes. This is one that they didn't change that much. They changed it a little. It's a brown palette. It's number 6. So let's go ahead and drive over. This one provides the same problem though that we had with the green and then the blue before that, where things are going to show up as white, but the only difference between the white and the white here is it's going to be brighter. So it is very difficult to get a differentiation in what we're seeing, like fish versus bottom or hard bottom. You notice right away, you see how this is picking up little bait pods? It's not picking them up right there. They're very shadowy, like they're very hard to see. All right, we're about to go over some of this bar here. Probably scared them all away by pinging them and driving the motor over them. Oh, here they come. So do you notice how it's like super like transparent and fluffy? Even the green one was brighter than this. The blue one was a little bit brighter, but not much. That yellow is really seeming like the best option. You see, there's nothing really showing up on the side scan very much. Yeah, I mean, that's decent, but it's not doing the trick. So what's my conclusion? I'm gonna keep experimenting, but as of right now, I'm gonna start using this guy a little bit more, which is number 10. It's that yellowish kind of look. I'm gonna go ahead and change this out right here as well. I'm gonna try it on the down scan as well. I might go back to the blue, but number 10, and the reason for that is it seems like with that number 10, I can get enough contrast. And once again, it's gonna depend on your eyes. Everybody looks at things that look a little bit different. We all have kind of ways we see stuff a little bit different. So it's gonna depend on what your eyes actually see. That yellowish kind of deal, I can tell the difference between stuff, and I can see the contrast difference and see the lighter, and then the shadows show up pretty good too because it's still kind of bright. But I think that's what we're gonna do, because I've been having trouble with the blue and just not seeing stuff on the side scan. So if you guys got any suggestions on color palettes to try with the Lowrance, I definitely would like to hear them. FYI, I do always run this guy on number 8. You do get some false reads for it, but that's why we're trying to tweak the down scan with that yellowish color, because what you do is you cross-reference. And we did this, if you go back and look at the videos, we did like a graph setup video, but that's why you cross-reference this guy against your 2D, against your other down scan, and you can get a pretty good idea of what's really down there. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're checking out. If you have some palette recommendations, throw them down in the comments box. Tight lines.